This episode includes the following content warnings: violence, corpses, enclosed spaces, cave-in, ghosts, crushing bones, gore, possession, self-sacrifice, and body horror. If at any moment during this episode you need to step away for your own safety, please do so and come back whenever you feel comfortable to rejoin us for this tale. Our coterie descends further into the darkness. Past the rubble pile under which the remains of the Tremere Stefan Reuschler remain, our 4 vampires follow a map in a notebook that they took from the Tremere as they're being chased by some horde that is approaching. Before our group set out on a run into the darkness, Beatrice still used some of her Oblivion powers. Beatrice, could you briefly describe to us what we see as, just as you join your companions to run into the darkness, what you do with your Oblivion powers?
In the distance, see the lights. I hear the steps approaching us, and just a slight dim light shining from different sources. And I take a quick. I kneel down to my shadow that is visible just slightly, and Bea has sharp nails that are painted, and with the nail, it's as if she is cutting a piece of her own shadow off. Just a finger, and that shadow splits off of her own, building up to a smaller copy of hers and vanishes into the night.
The shadow branching off from your own shadow, melting with the remaining darkness here and rushing off into the direction that you send it, past a group of people that must have come down from the rave and are urged by some force to move down here. The 4 of you run. Beatrice and Rowdy did check on the map where you should be heading. You have an idea. It shouldn't be far anymore. There's just a few more tunnels that were on the map, but you don't really have time to check it right now. You're being chased. You can hear the steps behind you. Lucian keeping up with the 4 of you as you go deeper. As you run into the darkness, deeper and deeper into it, could all of you give me a wits plus awareness roll?
Dificultad?
Difficulty 2.
I fed, the last time I fed on someone who was on my drug of choice. So I will add an extra die to this.
Yes, please.
For being a hopeless, not hopeless addict, a high-functioning addict.
Right, we have some interesting results here. We have Rowdy with a possible bestial failure with just 1 success. We have Beatrice, who just passed by 1 success. We have Geraldine, who failed. And we have Leni, who has a possible bestial failure. Now, all of you who failed, you could consider spending willpower to reroll. But at this point, many of you are at quite a significant number of hunger dice. And hunger dice cannot be re-rolled with willpower. Keep that in mind if you consider to re-roll.
How many successes did we need?
2.
Then I have 2 successes.
Hackney Tune. Nah.
Yeah, I can't re-roll with it.
Yeah, you can't. Indeed, Rowdy cannot re-roll because the only dice that are not a success are the hunger dice. That's true. Okay. So, Geraldine, as you rush down here, you're with your impressive physical abilities, running down into the darkness. You don't you at first don't even notice that there's no ground beneath you. It's only the moment that gravity pulls you down, and just at the last moment, you hold onto that ledge as the remainers of the coterie suddenly realize something that you didn't see, that right ahead of you, there's just this gulch that goes up down into the depth. And you see La Patrona hanging on the edge of that gulch now.
Hostia. There's just a giant hole here.
Aldina, could you give me a hunger check, a rouse check?
Failure.
Up to how much hunger are you at this point?
I'm hungry. I'm at 3.
3. As you dangle on the edge of that cliff, you feel somewhere deep in that gulch beneath you, there is a darkness there. And that darkness urges you to take life, to feed, to bring more into the fold, to drink and sate your thirst.
Cállate, I do it when I want. Carolina spits into the ground. Carolina spits behind her back into the abyss. Can Heraldina just like push through and lift herself up even one-handed?
You can totally do that as you pull yourself out of that gulch. Heraldina, you're not the only one that fell into this gulch. Rowdy, you did not notice this depth too. You skitter, you try to brake, you try to stop, but you fall down into that pit. And as you fall, you hear also this voice, this voice urging you to give into the hunger, to give into feeding and taking life and feeding this abyss with the dead. It is the land telling you what to do as you fall into the pit.
Rowdy would definitely give in. Could she use her protein discipline at this point to try to save herself?
What protein discipline is Rowdy going to use?
She would be using her horrid form.
As you unveil your horrid form, what do we see as Rowdy's body is going to change?
Okay, Samiche, come through.
Well, you might not see it. I don't know if you're looking, but you would definitely hear it. The squelching, the sounds of bones sort of snapping and reforming. And then you would hear a leathery sound, a whoosh, as a large, sort of demonic, red-eyed, large bat, but with the long, elongated snout of a wolf, rises up out of the gorge and lands, hopefully gracefully, at the edge by La Patrona.
Right at the edge. I do need you, Rowdy, to give me 2 rouse checks. One for your horrid form, and one for the abyss calling out to you. 1 success. 1 failure.
Hungry. Okay.
How hungry are you at this point, Rowdy?
I am at 3 now.
Rowdy, in this wolf bat form, lands on the edge. What's the response of all of you seeing this unveiling, this horrid form that she has taken?
What is that?
It's our friends. Do you scream in front of your friends like this?
Oh, where's Rowdy?
How fascinating. It is my first time seeing it.
Rowdy would try to reach out still with the little hand on top of the wing for La Patrona, even in this moment. It's a coterie.
I think because of Geraldina's increased hunger, she's a bit too annoyed and just sort of crushes the rock with her fingers into it and just pulls herself up.
Rowdy snaps her jaws at her as a response.
You can fly. Go to the other side.
Rowdy, you have taken this form, this apex of Simese power, changing the entire body into a form that is beyond the human limits. This is a proof of your mastery. And as you have taken this form and you hear Geraldina suggesting to you that you should cross that gulch, you look across it, and it is almost as if this gulch is not as wide anymore, as if the land itself, whatever forces are currently changing it, whatever shadows try to take away your territory, has been goaded into respecting you. This is your land. The darkness might try to claim it, but you're still here.
Rowdy leans back and looking at Lucian, she lets out a howl, but it's not quite like a wolf. Definitely has the sounds of the death rattle within it. And then she jumps back into the abyss and glides over.
You see Rowdy gliding over on these bat wings to the other side. Again, it is now a shorter distance. Even the gulch itself seems less deep. And all of you start, once this panic of this moment wears off, all of you wondering, how does this kind of gulch even end up here? This seems like some kind of part of the underground geography that seems illogical to be here. It's as if you suddenly went deeper than anyone has ever gone before. And Rowdy, as you glide over to the other side, landing on the edge of that gulch, you can now see, as you look up, there are carvings on the cavern wall there. There are carved into the limestone here are what you can only identify as what look like portrayals of Christian iconography, depictions of saints, scenes from holy texts, and they are flanking a hallway, an entrance that has also been carved out of the soft limestone rock that leads deeper into this place that feels like it's not even supposed to be here.
Gorgeous. Is there some type of rope or a bridge also on that side?
You look around, and as you ponder this again, you notice and you look back and you see that where there was once this gorge, this gulch, it's entirely gone now. You all of you also see this, that you just blinked, you looked around, and the gorge is no longer there. There's just a straight cavern passage over to that other side where Rowdy, in her horrid form, is awaiting.
Do we hear or see the rave party getting closer? Especially since the howl.
It is getting closer. You hear the footsteps echoing down that hallway towards you. And it almost sounds as if that group has become larger, as if more have joined the flock being urged down here.
If we were to just wait here, it'd be like shooting fish into a barrel. We'd be like the bears clawing at salmon jumping up from the river.
Geraldina,
Um.
with your hunger right now, you actually smell the combined sweat of all these people approaching, the scent of mortal life.
I think Beatrice's hand is gripping Geraldina's arm and squeezing a little harder than just a slight pat. And the way Beatrice is talking in this calm, collected voice, there's this quietness is not the same as before. It is more strained, as someone who's like holding on to the words, like slightly biting the insides of the mouth. Geraldine? Love? We still have business to do. Pleasure comes after. And he is trying hard to not succumb to her own hunger, feeling a very similar sentiment to what Geraldine is saying, but is trying to focus on what is in front of them, what they almost reached. And the hand that is holding onto Geraldine's arm isn't just to hold Geraldine back, but herself as well.
But listen, if what's ahead so dangerous anyway, better they die now than die later. Wasted.
You always finished your end of the deal. You always come through, Geraldine. We do not bow before our beast.
It's making this job unnecessarily harder, though. If a fish does happen to flop past my face, I will not hesitate to claw it into my maw. And Geraldina sort of annoyingly turns around and starts walking over the solid ground now.
Beatrice, at this point, you feel a missing part of your shadow returning to you, rejoining your form, and with it, what it has seen, visions, flooding your mind. You see the journey your shadow servant took, rushing through the darkness past this legitimate horde of people that move. The shadow witnessed how they move. They don't move out of their own accord. They move as if they're puppeteered. Their limbs moved by invisible strings, as if someone is piloting the body that isn't supposed to be in there. It's dozens and dozens of them. Something pulls them deeper. The shadow servant moves by them through the darkness, further up, and there, coming out of that tunnel that you all started this journey with, witnessed the destruction in the cave upstairs. There's just debris, rocks, and death there. The servant also witnessed one thing more. Amidst that debris sits Valerie, surrounded by sigils drawn with blood. She is working on an incantation. Your shadow does not know what exactly. Your shadow just shares these images, shows the drawings that she has put around them. But you, Beatrice, you know that probably Valerie is trying to pull on these tears in the shroud here, trying to pull them in some direction. Is she trying to closing them? Is she trying to opening them? It's hard to tell, but she is tugging, she's pulling, and from what you know, the current condition of the shroud, either way is a dangerous thing to do. And that's where your shadow came back to you and gave you all of this information.
What? Beth? Or whatever you're doing, So as you will. And I follow behind La Patrona, who has moved on. And I check over to where Rowdy and Leni are. And how are the two of you doing? What do I see when I look over to you?
Leni is moving in the direction of where Rowdy is, but very much like keeping her back, trying to be on the other side of this passage, up as far away from Rowdy as possible.
Rowdy is sort of trying to show Khadine and Leni the carvings or the paintings on the wall. I mean, I'm sure they can see them, but just in case. Her wolfish eyes. And she's also like, Lucian's coming over, imagining and sniffing her. You can still tell it's her. I hope so. Okay, yeah.
What is this? Heilige Father, Santa Maria, bendito sea tu. This is a holy place made unholy.
I think I've approached Leni. Siehst du sie noch? Do you still see them?
Moment sehe ich nur euch.
Whatever you took, opened your mind to them, made a connection. They are not moving on their own accord. I wonder if you can tune into that. What you are able to see. You know how long it takes my siblings to learn that?
Leni looks down the hall where the sound of the horde is getting louder. I don't know, but I don't know if now's the time for a lecture, Beatrice.
I am not lecturing you, dear. I'm saying you have more power than you ever had right now. If you try a little, if you push, if you allow it to. You said they are giving you kind suggestions, good omens.
No, I don't want to eat fish from a barrel or reach out to good ghosts. Let's just go to where we need to go and then get out of here.
You
Please.
can help us get there faster. Try reaching out to the woman you saw.
Markus, is there a way forward? Is this iconography sort of like the entrance to something else?
It's flanking the entrance to a tunnel that's leading forward.
I'm sure we just need to go down here. I'm sure that nexus thing. This feels like it might be it.
Leni, I'm going to roll a few dice.
That's more than just a few.
That's so many dice.
So many successes.
A lot of successes.
Which is
Leni,
good for us, right?
Leni, can you roll me? Unfortunately, you am not trained in Oblivion, but you have your composure and your resolve. I'd like you to make me a roll with 2 attributes, composure and resolve, please.
Difficulty?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm only rolling 3 dice.
All of them hunger dice.
1 success, failure by 5.
A regular failure, at least. Leni, Beatrice is telling you to see if you can push, if you can move against them, if you can use whatever powers you've been granted. You resist, you push back, and then suddenly you feel in your head another presence. The voice that spoke to you, that female voice that spoke to you earlier, the good ghost, is not just beside you, she is inside your mind. And you hear her speak. You have gifts. Are you afraid to see what you could be?
I don't want to be anything. I want to forget, and I don't want to be here right now.
You want to forget? You want to forget everything?
Yes.
Do you want to forget yourself?
Yes.
For those of you nearby, you hear, are you saying this out loud, Leni? Are you like shouting this out? The others don't hear the other half of the conversation. You shout out, you hear this loud, yes. Leni, for you black out for a moment. Chrifu, for you as the player. At this point, the friendly spirit, at least what you've encountered, or what you think is a friendly spirit, has taken hold of Leni's body. This spirit wants to show what Leni is capable of. How would you portray Leni's action as she is taking over by a ghost that thinks that Leni can be more than she wants to be?
This ghost starts with one of Leni's obfuscate powers. Mask of 1,000 Faces. Does require a rouse check.
Mm-hmm.
Shall I?
Please.
Failure.
At how much hunger are you?
So, as this ghost activates her obfuscate power, the hunger grows to 4. And you all see the shadows reach out and change Leni's appearance to that of the ghost I described earlier, Delara.
I wonder at this point, there may be kindred amongst here who might recognize Delara. Would any of the members in the coterie believe that they recognize a vampire from the city of Aachen that has been, according to some stories, stuck in some deep, dark sleep for a long time?
How long has Delara been in Germany?
Long. She's been in Aachen for a while. She used to be very influential in Aachen.
Maybe briefly. Just maybe saw her at some meeting or heard someone talk about her once. Not close, not really the area Beatrice was active in the last time she was in Germany. There's a glimpse of recognition, but can't really pinpoint it.
Any of the other coterie members who might recognize this appearance?
Unlikely for Geraldine. She doesn't have much exposure in Germany, and I don't think this is something her prince would have yapped about.
Possible that Rowdy does, I would say, given where they are.
So you all see Leni taking that form with different degrees of recognition of who is suddenly in front of you. Leni, once your body is commanded to take that form, what does this possession do with you next?
He's trying to show off my power. She would activate dementation.
That ability that you used on Stefan earlier to whittle away mental resistance by just using these insidious influences within the words you say you speak, a gift of your clan, not particularly designed to deal with the dead, but as this passenger in you is calling about a power, it's at that same moment that, having now picked up pace, this puppeteered horde of people comes into the space. Dozens of partygoers in outfits, some of them clearly wounded from what happened upstairs, others still in pristine condition, but all of them in their partying outfits, but they move in these jagged, these externally controlled movements. Their limbs move as if pulled by strings, and they come towards you. And Leni, the ghost that possesses you, tries to project that power towards that horde. I would like you to use your dementation power as you would regularly use it.
Rolling. I succeed in rousing the blood, so my hunger does not go up to 5. And I've gotten 3 successes on the first dementation check. I can do this once per turn during the scene against an individual.
That's what your powers, from your understanding, were doing. But this ghost is pushing you beyond that. You project dementation, this influence on the mind. The ghost in control of your body is just projecting it towards that horde. And for all of you observing, for all of you seeing this, you just see this changed Leni standing there looking towards these horde, and there's actually some of these puppeteered individuals, they move away as if they're pushed back. Some of their bodies just fall to the ground, limp, unmoving. Whatever other force is trying to control them is pushed out by the willpower projecting from Leni or from whoever is in control of Leni right now. How does the rest respond to this as the horde is still approaching?
Chrifu, you let me know how this is, but Geraldine would just sort of walk towards Leni, grab her by the throat, lift. En el nombre de Jesucristo, get out!
You lift Leni in that regard, wearing this completely different form. This is far from the Leni that you know. And as you lift Leni up, Chrifu, there is one final thing that the ghost possessing you can do. What would that ghost do in this situation as your body is being lifted by La Patrona?
Vanish.
Turning invisible.
Is there still a physical grasp under her hand?
Yes, but if I succeed in a contested check, you might forget I was there for a moment.
Is this a sort of attempt to sway? To show me something to adjust my memory, to coerce me into believing something else? Because then I would have a discipline against that.
It is on a win. Oh, the
Oh.
power does not affect vampires' memories.
Hmm.
I'm just thinking about, mechanically speaking, I think the best that Leni could get in that moment is not that Geraldine is fully forgetting that she's there, but
Maybe she loosens her grasp for a second.
exactly. But that depends on the outcome of the roll then. So what kind of contested roll would this be?
Wits plus obfuscate versus wits and awareness.
Wits and awareness, yeah. And Aida, you mentioned Geraldine might have a power that can help her here?
If this applies, fortify the inner facade. No, wrong one. Unswayable mind, page 258. The user gains a mystical ability to resist any attempt to sway them through mundane charms, coercion, and wiles. I can add my dots and fortitude as extra dice in any roll to resist this.
Resist coercion, intimidation, seduction, or any other attempt to sway the user's mind against their will.
Which would be forgetting this happened.
I think that would totally apply. So on this, it was a wits plus awareness roll that is the resistance here?
Yes, an unseen passage does require a rouse check as well.
Okay, so let's, as Leni or whoever is in control of her right now uses this. Leni, you get that rouse check.
Oh, failure. I'm at hunger 5 now.
At hunger 5. We're going to get back to that in a moment because we're still resolving what this vanishing is happening here. The hunger rising you. Leni is not experiencing all of that, but all of you might in a moment. You vanish out of sight. And Leni, could you give us that roll to see what La Patrona needs to roll against? It's a lot of dice.
5 successes.
5 successes. Now, Geraldine, you're going to roll wits plus awareness, but your unswayable mind
I add my
applies here.
fortitude.
How many dots do you have in fortitude?
4. This could also be a bad roll. Let's see.
We're also at high hungers. The risk for messy criticals and bestial failures is increasing here.
Right, it's a roll off, so no difficulty.
So you need to beat 5 successes
Okay, so I'm
because
just going to-
Leni's passenger got 5 successes.
Okay, so it's just a straight roll from me mechanically.
Yes. So wits plus awareness plus your fortitude.
6 successes.
Just barely beats it. Leni becomes invisible, but your grip holds on.
Might be a crack of the trachea. This will hurt Leni, but it won't kill her.
Leni, you come back at that point. You know you have turned invisible, but you also feel that tight grip of Geraldine around your throat. And you hear from behind of you, there's still more of these puppeteered mortals coming in. What's happening? What are you doing? And your hunger, there's this unrelenting hunger at the back of your head. What is going to happen?
Let me go!
Drop, if that's Leni saying this.
It is. You drop to the floor. Do you keep your invisibility, Leni?
Yes, and I turn and run down the hall into the entrance.
Into that entrance, she
Into
goes.
the darkness.
Into the darkness, past the imagery that is carved into the stones. The remaining 3 of you, the horde is approaching. You have no idea where Leni is right now. What are you going to do?
Rowdy's taken a stance in front of the other 2. They're in between her and the doorway, and she is roaring, barking, howling at the puppeteered humans, opening up her wings and trying to look as large as possible and as terrifying. And Lucian is also next to her with like spit coming out of his snarling mouth and like growling, his hackles raising, trying to stop them, subdue them, slow them down. Well, do I need to roll anything? Or as they are being puppeted, maybe it doesn't matter.
Well, but you're still trying to use that physical presence of yours. Can you give me a For this would be a manipulation plus intimidation. But since you're also in your horrid form here that's being projected, I think giving you 2 extra dice to that roll would be in order to project that horrifying form that you have taken.
You rolling.
Of 3 successes that you got there. And as you and Lucian snarl, intimidate the horde, there's some of these humans that were lurching forward are suddenly pulled back as if these strings are being pulled back. But there's others that start swarming up towards you, and they just start clinging on to this vampiric, this bat form of yours, trying to climb all over you, trying to just the mass of them is trying to push you further down. What does Beatrice do? What does Rowdy do in regards to that?
Oh, she's biting. Nothing, no necks, no eyes, but just she is biting at them and trying to stop it. Yeah.
Just snapping at them, trying to keep them off, while Rowdy is dealing with the horde that is now swarming over her. Geraldine, Beatrice, what's happening on your end?
Oplos said, "No, inside. We need to solve this."
I rush towards the door.
So does Carolina.
Running into that passage while Rowdy is fighting off the horde. Leni, you were the first one to run into this tunnel. Still hidden by the powers of obfuscation. It is only a short hallway, but it leads into a domed room that has been carved from this limestone cave by hands of mortals. It's almost as if someone tried to carve a little chapel into this place. There's more carvings in the walls of saints, sinners, biblical scenes. And into the floor in front of you, there are patterns hacked out of the limestone, as if someone was trying to make a mosaic in the floor. For some reason, and you don't know what the source of it is, this room has a light in it. Dim, but it's glowing with an invisible source. As you rush in here, the beast howling at the back of your mind, this hunger so great, you see that a figure is standing here. A man clad in the robes of a monk. His face is partially of that of a middle-aged man and partially a dead face, covered in rot and pox. The figure looks at you. And at first, you don't understand the words this figure is saying. You think this sounds French? But you don't know French. You don't know what kind of words he's throwing out here. But then as the voice keeps speaking, it's almost as if your mind is adjusting to understand it. And you hear the voice say, "Have you come here to heal the damage done to the thrones? I can see you, child. I can sense your hunger. I felt that hunger once too."
Leni steps out of obfuscate and rematerializes. How could you see me?
From beyond the shroud, those in the skin lands are easy to see. And you are here now in a place where you don't belong.
She said we needed to come here to overcome the shadows. Are you driving them?
She has been so afraid ever since she's been trapped here. It is not a kind fate to be trapped beyond the shroud against one's will.
Release her.
Oh. I wish I could. I gave what I know to keep all of this closed. The princes of my time. A magic I wove with my children. To keep these holes closed. And the princes were tasked to keep the thrones filled with rulers. And then the thrones were empty. And those who sit them now did not bother to deal with the tears.
What kind of ancient fuckery are you talking about? I don't understand any of this.
Then as you exclaim that, he speaks. In den Tiefen des Todes, die selbst unserem Blut fremd sind, erwartet uns Macht jenseits dessen, was uns in unserem unsterblichen Dasein geboten werden kann. Doch diese Macht verlangt einen Preis, den wir nie alleine zahlen. Ein einziger Bissen von der Frucht der Erkenntnis zahlen auch die, die nach uns kommen. So seid gewarnt, Prinzen der Nacht. Es kommt der Tag, an dem das Flüstern der Verführung unwiderstehlich wird und Weisheit von Gier ersetzt wird. Fürchtet diesen Tag und lasst diese Furcht das Erbe der Zukunft werden. Those are the words I shared with the princes of my time. And I fear that fear did not become the heritage of now. As this exchange is happening, Geraldine, Beatrice, you also come into this chamber. You see Leni here again, and you also see this monk standing here, this ghostly figure, now turning towards you as well. Beatrice, you saw this figure earlier. You recognize this as the ghost of a kindred that has gone beyond the shroud.
It's a sacerdote, a priest.
Leni turns to the group. He says the princes, they're the reason why the shroud's breaking.
I ripped the tear.
Close it then.
How did you become like this?
Close it then.
How are you able to keep your consciousness? How did you step into the shadow?
We don't have time for stories. Close it then.
Close it.
Do you want to know these secrets, child of the dead?
I want it closed.
What are you willing to give for that?
Well, you've come a long way. And it hurts to leave mother behind, but if it is my own life you want, sure. If it's This cave, sure.
Would you be willing to never leave this cave again? To learn the secrets, to guard, and to protect.
I stepped into this cave, wishing for nothing more.
Yeah, is this the job you had me do? Is this the good job you had me do?
Do not worry. I'll help fix whatever. I help you join your prince. I'm finally reaching death.
Thank you, Bea, but also, fuck you, Bea.
Sure. I don't think we'll meet again, Geraldine. I'm sorry. I take out my phone. I just take out the notebook. I give everything to Geraldine. I take off my jewelry, my rings, the necklace, everything. Put it away. Yeah. I'm willing.
There is one of your blood that is pulling things in a different direction. Are you willing to reject her, this power?
Valerie. Foolish, lovely Valerie. She is just like me, someone who is endlessly searching for death. She'll understand.
The monk nods at you. There is so much wisdom in you, child. And he reaches out his hand towards you, Beatrice.
She puts her hand in his.
For a brief moment, you feel nothing as your hand touches his. This is not the first time that you have tried to interact with ghosts. And you fully expect that your hand would just fall through his. But then there's a moment of contact. You actually feel the physical form of someone who has been dead for hundreds and hundreds of years. And as he takes your hand, he pulls you a bit closer. What is Beatrice experiencing as she is taken into the depth of the Shadowlands?
I think there is excitement running through her. She almost feels warm, as if blood is rushing through her body again. She feels this pulsating feeling, as if she ran a marathon and needs to catch her breath. And elation at the prospect of finally stepping through. And I think loss of desire at the same time. Loss of hunger and fear, and the closer she gets to him, she feels that she is losing the connection to the living world, more so than she already has as a vampire.
There is indeed a warmth in you, and the shedding of hunger. You have never been so far away of the beast that has been hounding your mind ever since you've been turned. And you get into the depth of the lands your family longs to see. To the rest of you in this room, Beatrice stepped closer to this ghost, and the two of them slowly disappear to where you don't know. But Beatrice, the Hecata of your coterie, is gone. And the moment she and this mysterious monk vanish, all of you feel a feeling of vertigo. As if suddenly up is down, right is left. For a moment, your stomachs lurch as if gravity is lost. The air changes. The smell as if thunder raged within a cave. Something has changed. All your senses tell you, but you don't know what has changed. But what your hearing tells you is that there's another rumbling in the depth. And you don't know if there will be another cave-in and how much time you have here. Beatrice is gone. You don't know what the deal is, but this place is not long. What do Geraldine and Leni do as there are already cracks appearing in this beautifully carved, domed ceiling?
And Rowdy?
Rowdy is still outside. We'll get to Rowdy for a moment. Rowdy is still fighting off the horde. But what are the two of you doing?
La Patrona, what do we do?
Holding like a fistful of jewelry necklaces. Fuck you, Bea. Fuck you. You don't get to leave. We had plans. We were going to have it all. Fuck you. We needed you. Fuck you.
You know that one of the rings that Bea usually wears is pretty much a key to her haven, which La Patrona knows where it is. And the documents for the deals signed are there, which is why she took everything off to give you.
She's shaking it violently. Nothing is flying from her hand. Ah! Rowdy needs us. And I need blood. Let's go before I regret.
Whack! The ceiling of this domed ceiling cracks open. Debris
Move,
falls down.
Leni.
Dust comes out. Lenny, as you rush out, you briefly look back into the room, and there you see her again. That ghost, the one that got into your body, the one that told you that you could forget. But how can you forget all of this? And as you look at her, she smiles at you in a way that shows grace and thankfulness. As the ceiling comes down, you see this ghost of this woman vanish, disappear in a similar way that Beatrice did. She looks happy, but right now, your beast is telling you that you are hungry and this place is coming down. The two of you are rushing out of this room. Rowdy, in the meantime, you have been fending off the horde, all of these puppeteered ghosts. They have been coming at you, clinging over you. Some of them have actually tried to just beat you with their fists. They've tried to use their fingernails to claw into your body. Lucian is taking a few bites out of some of these. And as you're still fighting them off, you also feel the rumbling, and you see, look above you, the ceiling is collapsing slowly. Again, it looks like there's cracks in the walls, so you don't know how long this place has to come. And you see rushing out of that room, not 3 of your coterie members, but only 2 of them rushing towards you as they're holding off the horde.
In an angry fit of rage at not seeing Beatrice, she throws off everyone. In her mind, she cannot speak now, but she's screaming, "C'est mon terre, c'est mon coterie, c'est mes amis, my friends! This is my and she takes one of the humans up to her neck and with her wolf mouth drinks deeply from them, tosses them, and runs back towards the entrance.
Leni, your hunger is at its limits, and there is this horde of people ahead of you. Your instinct is telling you need to run, but your beast is also telling you that this is a buffet ahead of you. What are you doing?
Stands, and as one of these partygoers runs towards her, she strikes an enticing pose, looking like bait, looking afraid. As soon as he gets close to her, she bares her fangs and sinks them into his neck.
Geraldina, your coterie members are unleashing their fury and their hunger on this horde, but you also know time is of the essence, but your hunger is also pushing you. What do you do?
Going to be a fucking dine and dash as she grabs Leni, who is probably fangs deep. So she's 2 bodies behind her. Hopefully Rowdy is moving, but I think with her remaining hand, just jabs out, grabs the nearest easy to grab prey, grabs the nearest twink, satisfying break of the neck. And Fang, she is moving, but I will also say she is slowed down and she is dragging multiple bodies while sloppily eating.
It is a bloodbath. It is a cave-in. It is calamity in this place. The world is coming down around all of you, and you are reveling in parts of your most bestial vampiric instincts while also trying to get back. More and more of the cave is coming in around you. Passages are getting narrow. You have to slip by parts of the ceiling that have come down, parts of the ground that tore open, but you're getting further. You're getting closer and closer and closer. There's blood running down from your mouth. There is your body, your heart is not really pumping, but the vitae is rushing through your body as you're getting through. But it's still the question if this coterie ever made it out alive. Because what we know is in the news reports. The news tells of how this entire cave came down. An earthquake due to unexpected seismic activities. The numbers tell of hundreds of partygoers who were invited to this, dead, some missing in the tunnels, some rushed to the hospitals, sirens rushing them. Those who survive and in the nearby hospital have just blurry images of what is going on around them. Voices far in the distance. And some of them keep hearing that voice, speaking about the Tiefen des Todes, speaking about the price that Macht demands. They don't know where these voices come from. They don't know what specters still escaped from whatever tear there was in the shadows. They don't know that this coterie, with the choices they made, might have saved the 3 city domains. We don't know where these kindred ended up. Valerie Dubois does not know where all of you ended up. She just knows that she made it out, that she may never see the ghost of her loved one again. This is the end of this coterie story. But there's a brief little nugget that I want to share with all of you before we wrap up. Chrifu, where is Dilara kept?
In Prince Peter's townhouse in Aachen. In her bedroom in the basement.
Basement. Is she kept in a specific, like in a on bed? Is she in a specific container safely? How is she kept there?
She's laying in a bed, as if sleeping.
And she has been sleeping for so long. I imagine Peter regularly checks on her. No response in this long period, ever since all of this happened. What we see in the basement of this townhouse on this bed is Dilara opening her eyes for the first time in a long time. And that's where we end this episode and this season of 3 City ReVamp. Hi there, I'm Markus, pronouns are he, him, and I am a pale white Caucasian male with a dark beard, dark hair, and glasses, and wearing a white t-shirt and a blue-green plate shirt. I can be found as the Chindividual online on socials and on YouTube, where you can find me making TTRPG videos with a big focus on Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So if that's your jam, come and check them out. And I'm handing it over to Chrifu.
I'm Chrifu Bernal, pronouns he, him. I've been playing Leni Graf, pronouns she, her. I am a cis gay white guy, queer German American based in Frankfurt, Germany. I have pale skin, a red lipstick, pink eyeshadow, and a light brown wavy wig on, as well as a black tank top and a spider necklace. I can be found on Blue Sky and Instagram at Chrifu Bernal, and I am also the executive producer and GM of Twilight's Edge on the Tumble Through podcast.
Tumble through!
Thank you. Where you can hear all of these people playing Pathfinder 2E every Tuesday where podcasts are available. Toto.
Hi everyone, I'm Toto. My pronouns are she, they, not in order of preference, and I have been Beatrice Ernst. It was a pleasure playing at this table. I'm a queer Asian artist and actual play performer from Germany, and you can find me almost anywhere on Blue Sky, Instagram, and wherever else you find me. I'm wearing gold rimmed glasses and I have dark hair with short, straight bangs, and I'm wearing a black top with white metal death metal letters by the band by the artist Harpy, and I am wearing dark red lipstick. And yeah, it was wonderful. It was wonderful to be at this table, and I hope to see you next time.
Hi, my name is Jen Vaughn, pronouns she, they, and I have been Rowdy Diver, pronouns she, her. I am a white cisgender queer woman or female presenting person with short black bangs, long hair, a large, voluminous black shirt with a crescent moon necklace full of ashes. You can find my work over at Haunted Vault Studios, where I have my comics, TTRPGs, and narrative design work in video games. You can also find my work on Drive Through RPG, like Pathfinder Adventures, a little bit of D&D, Brindlewood Bay, a little comic called Backstory about 4 teens who find a dead superhero's ring. So what could go right? Thank you.
And my name is Aida. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a queer woman of color. I'm an immigrant based in the Netherlands. And I've been playing Geraldine Castañeda, whose pronouns are she, her. It has been a lot of fun rehashing this story. I'm extremely grateful to Markus, the storyteller, and to this amazing, amazing cast here of Gen Toto and Chrifu for taking the time and energy to put together this second season and for leaving just a bit of crumbs, maybe for a third season. If you want to see a third season, I need to hear that you want to. I need to hear that you want it on our socials. I need to hear it in the comments. I need to hear in the reposts. I need to hear it on Discord. You need to make it known if you want a third season. Might happen, but only if you say so. If you want more of this content, amazing European tables telling uniquely European stories, demonstrating the amazing diversity of castes, of cultures, of histories, then you need to continue following Euphoria, where we're going to do exactly that, serving our local communities and celebrating everything that makes this story and these kind of casts amazing. Please do what you can. Follow us on socials. If you have the means, follow us on Patreon, where you will see outtakes, you will see behind the scene conversations, you see player sheets, you might see custom art or a Pinterest or Spotify playlist or various other APs. That helps us out. It helps paying fees for film festival entrances, of which season one was an award winner. Maybe with some support, we can make season two a big contender for that as well. Thank you again so much for all your support, and we'll see you around. Bye.
Woo! Yazoo.